Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. So when I was playing, after I played casual last week, he asked me what I thought about this Empire list, and I said, well, instead of me just giving my thoughts on it, why don't I just try playing it? So I arranged a game on about a week ago using Casual's Light Council list, and I'm facing an opponent using what is a fairly common Warriors list. So let's see, starting on the right on the top, it's a unit of dogs, some skull crushers, a chariot. He actually has a unit of warriors, which is funny because you just don't see warriors in a warriors army anymore. Two more units of dogs up front. There's actually Chaos Spawn, another chariot, and at the very top left you'll see a bunch of stuff. He's got the Unkillable Lord, he's got the Slaanesh Spellcaster with a 1-up armor save, two Chimeras, and a Demon Prince. And then this Light Council has, in some ways, it's kind of like the Wall of Steel. The only exception being he's got this huge halberdier block instead of a big unit of knights. So left to right, 5 knights, stank, Captasis with a 1-up armor save, Dragon Helm, or Dragonbane Gem. 5 more vanilla knights. Behind that's the Archlector and the Popemobile. 50 halberdiers. Behind them is a detachment with 3 light wizards. In front of them is a Demigryphs. To the right of that are 5 more knights. Behind that's my Hurricanum. And my Grail Relique model in the back I'm using as a Luminarch. So we set up, I roll, and I win the roll to go first, and I move up like that. So I park a couple units of knights in front of his vanguarding dogs, thinking, what are you going to do, charge me? You can't really get around me. In both cases, the mistake I made was I didn't think about how easy it would be for his chariots to make that charge. So I felt kind of dumb there. Anyway, a lot of my cavalry is inching up a little bit, and my blocks and everything's kind of hanging back. During the shooting phase, I shot a steam tank at the chariot. I hit it, wounded it, rolled a single wound. I'm not even going to make a big deal of it anymore. That's what I do. And nothing else of significance happens. So I think I threw a bunch of dice at a banishment from my level 4. And I think he dispelled it or something like that. So anyway, he moves up like you can see. Of significance, if you look at the left-hand side, my knights have fled through my steam tank. That's because his dogs charged him, and then that chariot charged him. And the chariot only needed a 7, and I just really couldn't handle that. If you look in the middle, my knights are just gone. Basically, he did the same thing there. He charged him with his dogs and charged him with the chariot. I fled from the chariot. I rolled a 1, a 1, and a 2, and the dogs caught them. Fantastic. Just wonderful. And so the Flying Circus is over here. I tell you, this is a pretty standard play for warriors, and it's funny because facing them, I just disagree with it. I would put those suckers right in the middle, and I would fly right in front of me because there's nothing on my list that can tackle them. All I can do is hit them with ranged stuff, and by circling around, you're giving me an extra turn to do the range stuff. So that's just my thoughts. I probably need to play with this chaos list so I can understand better why people do that. There's my knights fleeing, and nothing of significance happens. We go to Empire turn 2. So Captasis charges 1 unit of dogs. I don't love that because there's no place for him to go if he does win. I'd almost rather have him tied up with the dogs. And in hindsight, I'm wondering if I should have just parked him in front of him. I don't know. Anyway, it looks like that. On the far right, knights charge dogs over there. I moved my Demigryphs up just a little bit. When I'm tempting him, he's got skull crushers and a chariot over there that can reach my Demigryph knights. But for both of them, it's like a super long, not a super long charge, but I think they need, I think one needs a 10, one needs an 11, something like that. And so what I'd really like to have happen is for one of them to make it and the other one to fail, because I need my shooting and my magic to go against everything on the left. And the only thing I have to deal with stuff on the right really are those Demigryphs. And if he makes it in with only one of those units, and I'm supported with my Hurricanum and my Luminarch, I kind of like my odds. So there's that and that. And here's facing the left. So now he's in range with my banishments now, but he has a scroll. So the first turn, you know, I can throw a boosted Burning Gaze. I can throw a banishment with my spellcaster. I can throw a banishment with my with my Pope-mobile, but the Pope-mobile has a range of 24 and I can't boost it, so first turn he's no good whatsoever. This turn I can do it, but my opponent likely can stop one with dice and one with a scroll. I have my steam tank, but he can't hit anything. After combat, it looks like this. Knights on the right beat the dogs and reform. Captus beats the dogs. And I thought it was great because the dogs look like they land in front of his chariot, but it ends up that he actually can wheel the chariot around the dogs and still clip my demigryphs, which is okay because, again, I'm trying to lure him in. We go to Warriors turn 2, and the big news is that the chariot and the skull crushers make it into combat. And that was bad. That was really bad. In hindsight, I probably should have pursued the dogs with the knights to kind of force the skull crushers to charge them. Excuse me, I'm sorry for the yawn. That is not good at all. The Captus got charged by his chariot and fled and got away. Over in the bottom left, his Chimera charged the knights. I just stuck because he needed like an 11 or 12 to get there, and he rolls a 12. And then his Chimera and his Unkillable BSB charge my steam tank. And Unkillable BSB, of course, has a great weapon because he's unkillable, so why not take a great weapon? So long charges all the way around. That is rough. Oh my gosh. The problem especially is the demigryphs are protecting my flank, and his skull crushers and chariot should just blow right through him, and then he is all up in my business. That is bad. After combat, it looks like that. Yeah, he didn't kill the demis outright, so he couldn't overrun. He had to pursue, and the angle took him this way. He caught the demis because the demis had acquiescence on him, so they only fled d6, and overran into the Hurricanum, and the chariot is behind my line. So he's, yeah, it's not great. Over here, look at the Chimera hit the 5-man knight unit and didn't do a single wound. Just crazy armor saves. And the Chimera and the Unkillable BSB are attacking the steam tank. He did some wounds. I don't know how many. And it's just going to be a grind. Empire turn 3. So for the most part, I'm trying to get stuff out of the way. There's not a whole lot I can do. If the Skull Crushers... Well, when the Skull Crushers kill the Hurricanum, they have to overrun. So that might save me a turn. I take the Pope-mobile, and instead of sitting there casting Banishment on his lord, I decide just to go ahead and charge his spellcaster, because I'm thinking I've got D6 Strength 5 impact hits, and I should be able to sneak a couple wounds through. I only need 2, and if I don't, there's a decent chance of breaking him. And I still can 6 dice a Banishment at his Demon Prince. So I feel like I'm on the verge of desperate here. So I'm going for that. The steam tank, I get 4 steam points, and so I grind with 1 on the Chimera, do nothing, and then I wait to the combat phase to throw 2d6 strength 4 flaming at it and do nothing. I think that was my plan. I think the steam gun is flaming. If the steam gun's not flaming, then I played it wrong, but it doesn't matter because it never put a single wound on the darn thing. Wait, going back up. Oh, sorry. At the top, the Knights charge the flank of those Chaos Warriors. Again, I feel like it's kind of a move of desperation, but what else are they going to do? I need to stop those Warriors, definitely. And hitting them in the flank is okay. The good news is that he will... the bad news is he'll be steadfast. So, there's more pictures. And then we go to the magic phase. I 6 dice Banishment. I get it off on his Demon Prince and absolutely mangle him. So the Demon Prince is gone. So at least I have that. I need some of these combats to go my way. The Warriors now don't have the Demon Prince's leadership, and they may not have a reroll. If they do, it's just barely. But if they don't have a reroll, then I have a decent chance of winning combat with those Knights. I'll have a charge in the flank. He has a banner and probably only have 2 ranks. So it's really just a matter of me doing some wounds to him. And after combat, it looks like that. So the Knights actually beat the Chaos Warriors. They're steadfast, and they fail it. And the Knights run them down and run into the flank of that Chaos spawn. Now they're just going to sit there and forever because they can't wound him, and it's going to be tough for him to wound the Knights. But I'll take those Chaos. Killing the Demon Prince and the Chaos Warriors is awesome. The bad news is the Archlector charges into his Sorcerer. I do 0 wounds. 0. Now, one thing I'll give casual feedback on his list. He gave the Archlector the Enchanted Shield, and then they gave him a great weapon. So in combat, instead of having a great armor save, I have a horrible, it's like a 4-up armor save, I think. Heavy armor mounted, because I can't use the shield with a great weapon. So there's a little bit of wasted points there as feedback for your list. So yeah, that sucked. So my Archlector's tied up with his of what appears to be an unkillable spellcaster. The knights at the bottom are still hanging in there with that Chimera. I mean, way to go, knights. And over here, of course, a Hurricane dies, but he has to overrun, and he can't charge me because the Chariot can't charge anything, so the Skull Crushers are stuck. So that buys me just a little bit of time. Yeah, overall it looks like that. We go to Warrior's Chaos turn 3. So the Skull Crushers and the Chariot on the right just reform. There's no escaping them now. Let's see what else is happening. Everything else, really nothing's happening because he's tied up with everything. If you look at the Chimera on the bottom left, he killed several of my knights. And I think that was on... Yeah, I think that was on his turn that he did that. I don't know, I'm confused. Who knows? Anyway, everybody's sticking around. It's just a big pillow fight. And we go to Empire turn 4. Yeah, that was the end of that combat. So Empire turn 4, I'm kind of the same way. There's not a whole lot left to move. There's nothing, I don't know what to do with my Halberdier block, so I reform in bus formation facing the Skull Crushers. So basically I have full command. I've got a level 1, and I've got my Battle Standard Bearer up there. I take the Witch Hunter. Oh, I forgot to say, I've got a Witch Hunter in this list. Sorry, guys. He hasn't done anything because I don't know how to play a Witch Hunter well. But I take the Witch Hunter and step him out in front of here. I think there's a close-up. Yeah, I step him out in front of the Skull Crusher. So if they charge, he's going to flee. And then I've got a chance that he'll fail his redirect. And that's just what I'm going for. I park Captus in front of the Chariot, so... he'll have to charge him instead of my vulnerable Light Council or the Luminarch or whatever. And then I use magic to kill the Chariot, so that's nice. One less threat. After combat it looks like that. So the bad news is that lone knight died to the Chimera, of course. The Chimera reforms, he's going to charge the rear of my Halberdier unit. That is not good. That is not good at all. And other bad news, that the Archlector can't put a wound on his Sorcerer. The Sorcerer does put a wound on my Archlector, so that's looking bad. And the Steam Tank is getting down to very low wounds. Warriors turn 4. The Chimera charges the rear of the Halberdiers. You know what? In hindsight, I should have just fled that. If I fled it, it wouldn't have been difficult for him to get the distance to complete the charge. The tricky thing was, and the reason I didn't flee, because I didn't want it to turn into an awkward situation, but there's a smallest possibility that if I fled and I went through the Skull Crushers and landed on the other side, his Chimera wouldn't be able to complete the charge because he wouldn't be able to land somewhere touching me. But he may have been able to, like he could maybe touch the back corner of me, and the Skull Crushers would prevent him from getting flush against me, but he could clip me and then catch the unit. So it's a fun game. I was like, screw it, let's just roll dice. I've got a lot of bodies to chew through. And here my opponent makes a mistake. He charges Skull Crusher into the Witch Hunter, and I flee. In this picture, it would be top left. And then he had, I think, his dogs, maybe his Chariot, something over there, charged him, and I fled back and landed right in front of the Skull Crushers. So now the Skull Crushers can't complete their charge. When I look at it now, I'm wondering if they could have wheeled and touched me, forced me to close the door, and then brought the Chimera in second. It could be they did the Chimera first. I don't know. But anyway, that's the way it played out at the time. There's the Chimera. Thing's awful. And after combat, it looks like that. Yeah, so basically I'm losing a bunch of Halberdiers. But look on the left. His level 2 Sorcerer, whatever level he is, kills the Archlector, which sucked. The Chimera and the unkillable BSB kill the Steam Tank, and now... Yeah, man, that's all she wrote. That's bad news. Captus and the Luminarch charge the Skull Crushers. I figure that's the only chance I have. The Witch Hunter continues to run. The only good news about the Chimera being in the rear of the Halberdiers is protecting my Light Council. but I can't cast Banishment or anything, but at least I can try for buffs. The Knights finally killed off his spawn and charge his unkillable Sorcerer in the flank. Hopefully they'll do better than the Archlector did. Yeah, so there's that. And there's that. Hey, look, the Chimera has 2 wounds on it. And yeah, we go to the magic phase, and because I'm an idiot, I throw 6 dice at some spell, some Lore of Light spell that is moderately helpful. And for some reason, it seemed like a good idea to throw 6 dice at it. I miscast. I drop a big template on my Halberdier unit and cut them in half. I did the Chimera's work for them. I didn't get sucked into the void, but I should have. And after combat, yeah, so between the Luminarch and the Captices, they struggle to do wounds to the Skullcrushers, but they do some. They beat them in combat, but they can't run them down. That would have been helpful. The unkillable Sorcerer is still unkilled, and he actually killed one of my Knights. Yeah, if he hadn't done the wound to the Knight after we did the rolls for the break test and everything, I would have broken him in combat. But he snuck a wound through. I failed a 1-up, of course. Yeah, now we just mop up. Chimera, unkillable BSB, plus the original Chimera, all into my Light Council Halberdier Horde. The Skullcrushers rally. Yeah, that's not good. And yeah, that's really not good. Look at all the wounds they did. So we go to Empire turn 6. Capsis charges the flank of the Chimera. We're trying for one last try. That the Chimera, I think, is down to only 1 wound. Otherwise, everything looks like that. And yeah, he couldn't. Maybe it's down to 2 wounds. Either way, he couldn't do anything. And all my spellcasters and all my halberdiers just get munched. Capsis breaks from combat. Go to his turn. He charges, catches them, and it's a complete tabling of Empire except for 1 unit, small unit of Knights. But it was fairly bloody. I mean, the Warriors don't have a whole lot left on the table. 2 Chimeras, Skullcrushers, 2 characters and dogs. So certainly a resounding win for the Warriors. I think the list that I used has merit. I think we need to tweak something with the Archlector, and we just need to play it better. I'm not sure why I set up in the middle of the table. I think when I have my opponents outranged, I should just sit in a corner and force them to come to me. So I think the list has merit, and if played better, would perform better than this game did. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has several functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like the video, you can leave a comment, you can favorite the video. I want you to know that I appreciate it when you do things like that. It feels much more interactive than simply me talking to a screen. So if you're willing to do so, please like, comment, and favorite the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and you certainly are welcome to share this video on your blog or other websites if you are so inclined. Again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.